everybody, it's Rebecca Jane from StitchSlowly.com. Welcome to our video 4. We're already at the 4th one. And as you can probably see, my snowdrops are starting to look like this picture here. It looks similar. So I've been playing with it. I'll tell you what I've been doing since the last time we met. Now we're at the stitching phase and also adding some extra fabric as well. But let's talk about the stitching, because this is, obviously Stitch Slowly. I looked at all my threads, and I don't want to inundate you with my threads, but I chose, I thought, well, let me play and see what colors I can use for, this, which I love, that color. I love these colors. It's different kinds of greens. So I am, as probably all you are too, you love colors. I'm just like, I'm like an addict when it comes to colors. And then there's this color, and then there's the dark green, and I started trying all these different colors out, and some of them won't work, they'll be, but what we want, that's really important, let me just kind of move these aside, is we want to make sure, I'll just kind of put it in the corner there, maybe it won't distract you too much, is I want us to have some contrast. So for some of these stems, they're blending in. So I did some running stitches here. And just to give you just a reminder, because slow stitching is not meant to be perfect, your stitching can be all over the place. That's what makes it fun. I took some out, I did some threading, and I thought, let me get rid of this. I don't like how it looks. So what I'm doing here is mainly the 3 stitches is a straight stitch, a running stitch, back stitch, and those are the main ones as of right now. So very basic stitches. So you can see what I've done so far is I've added the extra, purples. I've also stitched here, just stitched along here, because if you see in this picture, in the our little card we're following, you could see there's a little bit of lines here. So I decided I'd like to put those, add those to the picture. And then I'm looking at it, and then what I did was I was playing with this bud here, which is fraying, as you might be able to see. But the beauty of stitching, slow stitching, is the fraying is what makes it stand out. We want frays. We don't want perfection. So you're going to have frayed. The picture itself would be frayed, the outer edges of the background fabric, but also some of these buds. So I did a running stitch around here with white, and as you can see, I wanted to make this little line here, which is the bud beginning to open slightly. So I did that. Mine is somewhat like it. And then I was getting kind of messy here. I had to kind of see I was going to outline all of the flowers with a dark thread, but I tried it with the white and it didn't look good. But then you could see I did outline the part of the stem, the little stem that holds onto the bud, and I kind of like that. I actually might stay with that one. And I added also, what you start doing is I have this gorgeous fabric here, very sheer fabric, that I use in most of my slow stitches. I have a massive amount, and I think it's from an Indian store. And I can just cut little pieces off of it. So here I have a piece, and I kind of add it on So might see here, if it's hard, you might not be able to see it, but I place some here. Just to add a little bit of depth to the picture, because this, and I'll probably like play with it later. So I'm going to show you some stitching, and I decided I would show you, I've taken this thread. I'm going to move this to the side so I don't distract you too much, and it's underneath actually. I just started sewing. I'm going to move this one aside. So what I'm doing is I need to fasten these little tiny pieces, all, as you can see, they're starting to pop up. I often have to go back and glue them down again, you know, with my fabric glue. But what I'm doing is I'm adhering, and I start with just simple stitches. That these are straight stitches. And I try and make them contrast a little bit. Maybe you can even do a lot. You can make it really stand out. Once you fasten it, you might say, I don't like that color, or I want to add some different colors, so you then throw in some other colors. So you can see I'm beginning to just adhere that, and I'll decide whether I'm going to do a straight stitch along here, most likely, because they're tiny stems. And so that's the stitch for that. And then I'm also taking, I have another color, this purple. Well, it's actually a little bit more contrasting than what I used on this one, but I thought, let me play with it and see how it looks. So I'm taking this, I think, what's nice about it is you play with it as you do it. You might have an idea in your head, and then you try it and it doesn't look good. So what I'm doing, the main thing right now is I want these pieces, tiny pieces, to be fastened. So I'm just fastening it down by making just little tiny stitches, and they're stitches that there's no perfect length, and I'll show you. They're just all over the place, but that's how flowers are, right? There's nothing that there's no like perfect shape or perfect length or perfect petal. They're all different, every single one. It's like a snowflake. There's not one snowflake that's the same. They're all unique, and that's what we're creating. This is nature happening in front of us. We're creating nature. We're taking this beautiful picture of snowdrops, and we're making this our own. We're creating our own. Might take a few little ideas from here, but add your creative, your imagination to it. That's what makes it yours. So as this develops, so it's basically straight stitches. I might then go in here and throw a little bit of a purple, and maybe I might find there's a darker one. I might find something else. I have white for that, which I definitely want to use for the snowdrops. I don't want to take away from that, the snowdrops, by adding a contrasting color. You might want to, but I think I'm going to just use white. And with the drops, snowdrops, I usually like to kind of create a running stitch and just stitch around, just to keep it down. And then you can add to it, and you can add different pieces of fabric. These sheer type fabrics. I've been playing with this one, which I love, but then I thought, well, it's too blue. So what do I do here? So I started finding little bits of green, and I've used that green to place inside here, because if you look at snowdrops, if you look at a picture, like I've been looking on the internet, and I've seen how when they open up, or even when they're not quite open, they have this center with this little green, it looks almost like a heart, in the center. So you can see she did this here. So I love the purple, and these are my colors, green and purples, and so as this develops, you will see how, now this is a little messy here. I'm not 100% sure I like the look of that, but again, what I'll do is I'll go back and I'll play with it a little bit more. Like I said, I love this. I first didn't like, I outlined this and then this, but didn't like the outlining of the white. But I like how it looks actually on the picture that I'm videotaping right now. So I think I'll show you the progress. So I'm going to be doing for the next video, I'll show you the majority of the stitching I've done. And we might be close. And then when I finish the stitching from what I have here, and then I'll show you how to add some different fabrics on to bring it up, to give it a little more three-dimensional look. And then we will, eventually, the very last video is I'll have it cut out to the size. And I'm gonna show you what it looks like in a frame. Because what do you do with this? You can, and I'll explain different things you can do with your slow stitching pieces. You can make a book, that's another idea, or like they call it a journal, a slow stitching journal. But I'm actually going to frame this because I have a spot just above on my left hand side in my room of a just perfectly sized space for this. So I'll show you how to do that. But for right now, we're stitching. When you see me next, I'm going to have mostly stitched it, but I'll show you. If you have any questions about stitching, please comment below. If you have any advice, like you say, could you try this? I've done this before. Don't hesitate, because I am a student. Yes, I have been doing this for years, but you're always learning. That's what I love about it. And if you like this video, thumbs up, subscribe. You can also hit the bell to receive notifications for the next video. And thank you so much. I hope to see you soon. Have a wonderful day. This is StitchSlowly.com, Rebecca J.